people. Thank you for coming to view Lydia's Insights. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. A bunch of pizzazz and all that jazz. Use your imagination so you can actually see it, okay? All right. So today, I'm just going to share with you my Sunday message. I listened to Pastor Rick Warren. The service was hitting on what do you do when your prayers aren't answered? Ooh. We all have our different prayers we're praying. We all have things we're like questioning. We just can't understand. We don't know what's going on up there in the heavenlies. Oh, we can't see what's going on in the other dimensions. I don't have that gift, and I'm personally I'm thankful that I cannot see angels or demons, battling it out in front of me, because that would be just too much for me. Anyway, so he was talking about that when your prayers aren't answered, that means either it's most likely, if you're waiting, it means you're in the waiting room. That's his words. You're in the waiting room. So there's a no, there's a yes, and there's the waiting room. And he was using the picture of kids. What is it like if you tell your 3-year-old, if you have a 3-year-old, and if you don't, just imagine. Maybe you don't want kids, but that's besides the point at this time. Anyway, so if you have a child that's 3 years old, and I've had 7 of them that's been 3, so I know a little bit about 3-year-olds. You can't compromise with them. They're not going to understand if you tell them, I'm sorry, you can't play with that toy right now because you're going to get your hand cut off. No, what you got to do is you take that toy away. They kick in, they're screaming possibly. And that's what he was describing us as. Not that exact picture, no. And then check this out, everybody. Today it was a live service in Costa Mesa, Calvary Chapel, Costa Mesa. I was listening to it on K-Wave. K-Wave is an app that you can get and download. So I was listening to it on my app. It was Brian Borderson's son-in-law. I can't remember his name, but the message hit upon the exact same thing that Rick Warren was teaching about, which wasn't live. The message that I listened to from Brian Borderson's son-in-law was live, and he was hitting on the exact same thing, except for he used a child that was in the swimming pool that was getting all pruny, and it was time for them to get out. And he's like, you can't tell the 3-year-old why they have to get out, why it's time to get out. You just have to tell them in a loving, kind way. You can try that and see if it works, but they're not going to understand why it's time for them to get out. I felt blessed by that message, and I highly recommend, if you guys can somehow look at K-Wave, that app, and see if you can listen to that message, because it was awesome in what he had said to everybody, to the churches mostly. It was like that here we are, and everyone's looking at us as a church and seeing how we can't get along and how we're all conflicted and we're all, oh, well, you believe in that, oh, well, I can't talk to you. Just those things. And he was just saying, come on, that's basically my words, not his. Let's grow up, okay? It's okay to disagree. It's okay to agree to disagree, people. Nobody has to have our exact views. They don't have to think and believe as we do on certain topics. That's not going to happen anyways. God doesn't want that. God wants different flavors. God is a God of great taste. I mean, look at this earth, for crying out loud. Look at the beautiful colors of everything. There's so many different colors, and there's so many different textures to everything. All right. I think I'm done. I think I've said enough. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So, once again, Thank you for coming to view Lydia's Insight.